Hi, I'm Kira K. Dixon, and today Caitlin Clark is under the umbrellas. Welcome, Caitlin.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, I heard that it's your first time at Augusta National. So what are the impressions so far?
Oh gosh, I mean, like, this is a place that's on literally everyone's bucket list.
Nobody anticipated what happened after Clark left the hardwood and entered the most revered area in golf. From center court to center stage at Augusta National for the Masters, Caitlin wasn't there to compete, but rather to take stock, regroup, and show off a side of herself that most fans never witness. Caitlin is also giving us a glimpse into her nervousness, the tales of golf. What did she say, and why is this interview suddenly going viral? Caitlin Clark didn't simply show up at the Masters, she made it matter. The off-season surprises and the unexpected ways that golf reflects all she's learned from basketball.
I think, like, you see it on TV, but when you actually get here, it's a completely different experience. So beautiful. Like, wherever you look, it's like a postcard. It's amazing. I think the one thing that you can't tell on TV is the hills. Like, you can't really prepare for that. My legs were a little sore yesterday, but I mean, it's just unreal. It's perfect,
That's
honestly.
your preseason workout.
Yes, exactly. Getting my legs back in shape.
There you go. Yeah, what did you do? I walked the golf course.
Yeah, that's how I got back in shape.
In true Caitlin Clark fashion, she couldn't resist kicking things off with a joke.
I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next day. So maybe play some golf. I think that's what I'm gonna do until it gets too cold in Indiana. So I got that. I'll become a professional golfer.
She doubled down with a new punchline after famously declaring that she had used her off-season to become a professional golfer. She said, "Walking Augusta's legendary hills had become my preseason conditioning, getting my legs back in shape." She laughed, acknowledging that even simply being a fan at the Masters is no walk in the park. But underneath the humor, it was classic Clark, combining focus, fun, and a little bit of sarcasm, always in season.
I mean, this is at the top of their bucket list too. Like, they can't get enough of it. I slept in today. My brother and my dad were here right when the gates opened. They were walking around, nobody's playing. And that's what a lot of patrons do. They just walk around and want to see the course, and that's what my dad and my brother were doing. So they can't get enough of it. We've tried every single food. We're going down the list. So.
What's the favorite?
She also doesn't hide her priorities, particularly when it comes to the renowned cuisine. In her quest to sample everything Augusta has to offer, Caitlin acknowledged indulging in more than a few less than healthy treats. Jokingly, whether it's consuming honey wheat chicken salad sandwiches or planning her next snack, she will require further conditioning when she returns to Indiana. It's obvious that Caitlin is enjoying her best life.
My favorite, I think the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. You can't go wrong with that. It's like the peach isn't like overpowering. The sugar cookie is really good. Had a couple of them yesterday. I'm gonna need to get some extra conditioning in when I get back to Indianapolis. But I mean, you can't go wrong with anything. There's just so many things that are so good, and maybe it just tastes better because the view is also so amazing. But yeah, it's been fun.
Are you a pimento person?
Not a huge pimento person, but
it's a unique taste.
I would pick the chicken salad on the honey wheat before that.
Okay.
I really like the chicken salad. That's my go-to sandwich if I'm picking one.
Yeah, I like that. Good protein, gets you through the day.
It's really good.
And yes, she plans her outfits just like the rest of us, unsure of the weather she packed. It's a bit of a challenge, but she really wants to fit in. She hasn't even made it to the merchandise tent yet, but when she does, she's ready for action.
How have you planned your outfits this week?
Ooh. Well, I brought a ton of clothes because I didn't really know about the weather when I got here, but I mean, it's been perfect, but just trying to look the part at least, you know?
You do look the part, but you're a golfer, you know exactly what it takes.
I haven't gone to the merch area yet, so we're gonna get some good
what's
Masters.
On the...
Everything. But also then you gotta buy for people too. You gotta stock up on Christmas gifts. My brother's already gone. He spent a bunch of money, I'm sure.
Oops.
I'll be up there too, but I'll get some hats, get some nice golf gear, because it's exclusive. You can only get it here, so you gotta go crazy while you can.
Yes,
Presents for the family fresh hats, coffee mugs, since she considers herself to be the caffeine queen, and of course, exclusive golf equipment. And she even acknowledged that she watched TikTok merchandise hauls in order to get ready for the shopping frenzy where fashion meets strategy. Fans hardly ever see this type of detail.
You know, I've been watching like TikTok hauls of like what people buy so I can be prepared of what I want to get.
Well, because when you go in there, you have to have a strategy.
You have to have a plan, yeah.
It's overwhelming.
There's so many people in there. I'll probably get some coffee mugs. My brother said the coffee mugs were going off I'm a big coffee person, so get some coffee mugs.
In this way, Caitlin Clark at Augusta is more than simply a famous athlete at a golf tournament. She represents all of us when we enter a setting we've only ever imagined, snacking attentively and prepared to create memories with the people who are most important to us.
The game of golf.
So I remember I was pretty young and I loved every sport. My parents
You're a little athletic.
I wanted to try whatever I could. And I remember on one of my birthdays, I forget how old I was turning, but I was pretty young. I got my first set of golf clubs and they were bright pink, like the kid golf clubs. And I would always beg my dad to take me and go golfing. I just really enjoyed it. I loved being outside. I wasn't obviously very good. I still am a hack, but I think I just love being outside. I love
Even though Caitlin Clark is quick to acknowledge that she is not a professional, it's obvious that golf has always held a special place in her life. However, how did it all start? Let's just say it involves a birthday, some bright pink clubs, and a lot of perseverance. Before Caitlin Clark was lighting up basketball courts, she was already falling in love with another sport, one that had no crowds, teammates, or shot clock.
The competitive aspect of it, it's like a battle with yourself. It's an individual sport. It's so different than basketball or the other sports that I played growing up. So I think it makes you have this mental toughness about you. I think that's what I love about it. But a lot of my friends played growing up and throughout college, and even now professionally, some of my teammates play. So it's like a fun, competitive thing we get to do together. And that's what I love about it. And yeah. That's the one bad thing about the WNBA is it's during the summer, so I don't get to go out and golf as much, but I try to make as much time as I can without hurting my back because I still need to make some shots, here and
there.
But yeah, I got into it at a young age and I've really always just loved it, and I'm very average at it, but it's so hard. Everybody's mostly pretty average, but yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Regarding Caitlin Clark, golf is more than just a pastime. It's a kind of therapy in a world where she's always in the spotlight. The golf course provides a rare sense of calm where the stress melts away, the noise goes away, and the attention turns inward, just to her, the club, and the next stroke.
It is crazy, but also I think understanding how much I enjoy it and how peaceful it is, it's such a nice way to get away from basketball and what your reality is every single day, and just to do something where you can calm your mind and be away from people and be outside.
She quickly acknowledges that she could never pull off a Michael Jordan comeback, dropping 35 points after 18 holes. But she completely understands why so many top athletes turn to the game, because it's a mental reset, a chance to recharge, and a means to return to the grind feeling rejuvenated.
Why do basketball players specifically seem to love golf so much?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I really do think that one, it's a great escape for us. I think two, we're so used to the team aspect, and then you get out on the course and it's such a challenge with yourself. It's you, the golf ball, the golf club, the course, that's all it is. You don't have teammates to rely on. It's just a battle with yourself. And
it's almost like a mental exercise that you can use.
It really makes you mentally tough. And I think that's also what's really impressive about these professional golfers out here. You hit a bad shot, you don't have time to sulk, you got to move on. And it is similar to basketball in the same way. You miss a shot, you got to move on. But, they're the one that has to step up and take the next shot. They don't have other teammates to rely on. So I think that's what's really impressive about it.
She even views it as a form of training because, like basketball, golf requires you to grow past your mistakes. Hit a terrible shot, you've still got to hit the next one. Miss a big bucket time to go back on defense.
But the most important thing is managing your nerves here. How much do you relate to that? I know that you said you don't really get that nervous in basketball, but every once in a while, I'm sure something does spike.
Well, it was just interesting, walking around yesterday, the fans are just so on top of you. And I think as an athlete, when you're in your element and you're competing and doing your thing, you don't always realize that. So I'm sure the guys get in their zone and kind of go about their business how they always do, but that element is always something that you can't prepare for. It's
Since Caitlin is aware that nerves and crowd pressure cannot be replicated during practice, basketball and golf share a unique requirement to focus, tune out outside distractions, and perform in front of an enthusiastic audience. She experienced these nerves even as a spectator, but that's the magic of golf. It tests her in ways that improve every aspect of her game.
Prepare for. It's just in basketball, you don't show up to practice and there's not fans there yelling and screaming and cheering or walking alongside the ropes or sitting behind the green. Those are just elements you can't prepare for, and you just kind of have to zone in and lock in and block out kind of all that noise, but also enjoy it at the same time, because this place is beautiful and incredible, and having fans or crowds or whatever it is follow you in professional sports, that's what makes it really fun.
Caitlin is more than simply a golf enthusiast. She knows the game's strategy, mentality, and grind. admiration that effortlessly ties her passion for basketball and golf together, recalling tales of Steph Curry hitting the range following a challenging match.
I think one of my favorite stories is when Steph Curry, I think it was the playoffs, and I think it was the finals, they had just lost, and he didn't play very well. And the next day they had off, and he didn't want to go to the gym, he wanted to go to the golf course and just hit balls. And then the next day he came out and had like 45 points and shot really well. And I think it just shows like how nice of a calming aspect it is for professional athletes, but also the competitive side of it. Like, you love that too. And obviously Steph is really good, but I think that is one of my favorite stories, is like, you understand, like, this is an escape for us too. Like, it's that peaceful. And
or Michael Jordan making it through 18 holes before putting up 35 points. She doesn't merely recount these tales. Her sports IQ truly comes through when she understands what they're saying. For her, golf is more than just a pastime. It's a mental model that reflects all the things she cherishes about competitive excellence.
I know MJ is really competitive with it. The stories about MJ are crazy. Like, he would go play 18 and then show up to the game and drop 35. I could never do that. Like, that's a different breed, but yeah, you find a lot of hoopers also like basketball too.
It turns out that Caitlin is not the only WNBA player who stealthily looks at golf equipment. From lighthearted jokes with former teammate Grace Bergerer, a legitimate state champion, to current teammates joking about playing golf, the idea is subtly circulating throughout the locker room, and Caitlin is fully embracing it, turning into a low-key golf whisperer.
You believe Grace was a state champion in high school for golf? Have you played with them?
Grace was?
Yeah.
What?
Have you played with anyone? Yeah, I think
Grace! You were a state champion golfer? Why did you hide that from me? She was on the team, they didn't play her, apparently.
Have you played with anyone on this team yet?
Honestly, I have not. I need to go. I know Lexi plays a little bit. Christy actually plays a little bit. Me and Christy probably go out there at some point and see if she can swing a golf club. I don't know. But I think a decent amount of people probably play. We can get them into it. We probably need to get some people out there. I want to see like AB swing a golf club. I feel like that might be funny. Yeah, she probably won't like it.
Since she doesn't even know how to swing a club, several of her teammates have begun asking her how to get started in a half-serious, half-joking manner. Caitlin chuckles about it, but it's clear that she actually enjoys piquing their interest in the game. She's even coming up with ideas for informal get-togethers and locating public classes where they may study without criticism.
What would be your pitch to other athletes in the W to play golf?
Well, it's funny, I have a lot of teammates that also don't play, and like, we talk about it and they're like, I see you play golf, like, I really want to try. It's like, they like want me to help them get into it, which I think is super cute. And I don't think they realize how hard it's gonna be, but they're like, I don't know how to swing a golf club. I'm like, I'll help you. So I think I just tell them, like, it's a great way to spend time with the people you love. Like, that's my favorite thing about it. Like,
Caitlin is right there leading the way, not as a star, but as a comrade with an extra club or two to share. As players try something new together without cameras or pressure, there's something incredibly genuine about it.
Like, yes, it probably frustrates me a lot, but also, like, it's just a great way to be outside, to meet people, to spend time with people. It brings people together, and you know, that's what's so amazing about it. So I'm gonna work on giving some of my teammates a few lessons. I don't know if they actually want lessons from me, but I'm gonna try to help them the best I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, they wanna go out and play. So we're gonna find some courses in Indianapolis and get out there. Definitely some public courses that maybe aren't like as nice as other ones, because I might put some divots in the ground, but it'll be fun.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's how you learn.
That is how you learn. We've all been there.
But they're also so much farther ahead because the hand-eye is there.
Yes, they're athletes, you know? They're one step ahead.
They're gonna be fun.
For the first time in a long time, Caitlin Clark's off-season looked a little different this year. She had the time to relax, slow down, and enjoy something special for herself. And that something ended up being golf. After the season ended, she didn't immediately go into training mode. Instead, she picked up her clubs. And that's when things started to get interesting. Her swing is still a work in progress, but the joy was instantaneous.
So this off season for you has been the longest time that you've had to actually have a break from playing basketball at an elite level. And you said, I think in the beginning of the off season, you said you were gonna try to become a professional golfer. So where are we in our journey with golf right now in the off season?
Well, I'm in Indianapolis mostly during the off season, so it's so cold.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I gotta get you a simulator.
Yeah, exactly. I was joking around, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, maybe she can do it." I'm like, "No,
Well,
people don't understand."
That just goes to show what people think of how much of an athlete
which I
you
really
are.
appreciate. Which I
It's
really
a compliment.
appreciate. Yeah. But it was fun. I played a ton right after the season ended. I got to play with Nelly Korda, and then
She played with Nelly Korda, started off with John Rahm and Max, and even walked the fairways with LPGA legend Annika Sorenstam. She acknowledged that she was more anxious than I am for basketball, but that's what made the experience unforgettable. These weren't just celebrity-filled events. They served as reminders of how much she still enjoys learning to compete and face challenges. Caitlin understands she's not on their level, but she's drinking it all in with gratitude.
oh gosh, I've never been so nervous in my life.
That's saying a lot, too.
I know.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
get nervous for basketball, but that's maybe because, like, you know, I know I'm actually okay at that. I'm decent at that.
You're pretty good, yeah.
Golf, you never know what might happen. I about killed somebody on like the 6th tee, but you know, it's really fun. It was great. I'm honestly not used to walking 18, so that's an adjustment too. But like I said, like those are once in a lifetime experiences that I'm lucky enough to have. And Nelly and Annika were both tremendous, and they're so easygoing, and you know, two of the best female golfers of all time. So how cool is that I get to say I played 9 holes with each of them.
Though it wasn't just the golf, what really stood out was how welcoming the golf community was to her. Her clubs welcomed her into pro-ams and treated her like one of their own, not just a visitor. It didn't matter that she played basketball. They were just happy that she cared, and Caitlin felt that she had witnessed the power of crossover support and now wanted to repay them.
So I don't know if you've noticed this, but anytime someone outside of the quote golf world shows any level of interest, the golf world just wants to wrap their arms around you. What has been your thought on the reaction that golf has had to you being interested in golf?
Yeah, I think it's been really fun, and obviously it's allowed me a lot of really cool opportunities and to do a lot of really cool different things, whether it's playing the pro-ams, whether it's be here, whether, you know, whatever it is, whether it's people just sending me golf clubs for free to try out. I'm never mad at that. I'm never mad at that. But it's super fun. I think it shows how much the game of golf is also growing.
It's not about staying in one lane. For her, it's about opening doors both ways. If golf fans start watching women's basketball and basketball fans tune in to women's golf, that's the kind of momentum that makes a difference. Because at its core, she has become a vocal supporter of the LPGA, proudly supporting the women who are breaking new ground in the sport just as she is on the court. Caitlin is demonstrating that true brilliance goes across sports by constructing bridges between Augusta and Gainbridge, as well as between the WNBA and the LPGA.
You know, I think over COVID, it certainly helped too. Like that's when my brothers picked it up. They didn't play when we were kids, and that's when they picked it up and really started enjoying it, and now they can't get enough of it. And it's the same with a lot of my friends and teammates. So, you know, it's just such a welcoming community, and it's really fun for me to be a part of, and you know, and to bring more eyes to golf, and then in return, you know, hopefully a lot of golf fans start watching women's basketball too.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark. She described it as unlike anything else. And not just because of the views, but also because of the presence it demands. You're not just watching greatness, you're feeling it. And as a professional athlete herself, she understands how uncommon and potent that kind of energy is. The Masters is more than just a tournament. It's a moment suspended in time, with no phones or other distractions, just the stillness of the course, the weight of tradition, and the quiet buzz of fans fully locked into the experience.
I honestly would probably put it number 1. And I think it's just so different than everything else. There's really just nothing like this. And I think honestly the aspect of like not having your phone is so unique. Like you can tell everybody is so invested, and they're really just there to watch the greatness of the athletes. And even the golfers talking about it after their rounds, like they feel a different level of engagement from the fans too, and how invested they are, and you're really just living in the moment. And I think as a professional athlete, like you can empathize with that, and I think that's really cool. And then, you know, I just feel like a normal fan getting to follow on the course, and
Caitlin
even talking.
Wasn't just inspired by the end of the weekend. She had gone from watching bands perform on the first tee to thinking about how nerves show up in various settings. Her understanding of what it takes to perform at the best level had only increased, and she referred to Augusta as one of the most magical places she had ever been. You could tell she meant it for her and her family. It wasn't just a trip, but a memory etched in green, gold, and thankfulness.
That's what we all love about it, is like you're just one of the normal fans walking around doing all the same exact stuff, and there's just like a peacefulness about it. So I would put that up there at probably #1, because it's just so different. Like there's really nothing like this, and maybe the weather we're getting spoiled with is making me a bit biased, but it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
In this unique moment off the court, Caitlin Clark reminded us all that greatness isn't just measured by points or trophies, but also by curiosity, humility, and the way you lift others as you rise. She didn't come to Augusta to dominate. Rather, she came to disconnect, reflect, and rediscover why she initially fell in love with sports.
Yeah. So last thing, this show is all about capturing the magic of Augusta National. How would you define the magic of Augusta National in the Masters tournament?
I think it's one of the most magical places I've ever been in my life, honestly. Like I think it's that special, and everybody knows that, whether you've been here or not. But once you really step foot on this whole course, this entire area, like it just puts into perspective how special this place really is. So it's been a magical few days for me and my family, so we've had a great time.
If Augusta taught us anything, it's that the magic happens when you slow down, look around, and realize you're witnessing something special. If you're excited about the upcoming WNBA season, comment below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss it. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one. So whether she's slicing tee shots or draining threes, Caitlin Clark is creating something bigger than a career.